Uh, what it do, chatters? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's happening? If you're watching this sometime in the future on the Red app, hello. Welcome back to the Cozy Corner podcast. It is I, your host with the most, Bambi, aka Bambi X Bambi. And yeah, like I said before, this is the Cozy Corner podcast. A ouch. A podcast about a lot of different things. So get comfortable, snuggle up, and be prepared. Be prepared. Be prepared, and also don't be shocked if we have some conversations that you might not be comfortable with, because they need to be had. Also, hello guys. Hello chatters. What's up? What's up? What's up? Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, drop a like, hit the subscribe button. Uh, Hit the noti bell so you get notified every single time we drop a video over there on the Cozy Clubhouse TV channel. And yeah, drop a comment too if you're feeling it. I'll be part of the conversation. Be a part of the conversation. Also, if you want to be a part of the live conversations, twitch.tv/BVMB1_47. It's where you can catch us most of the time, doing it up and having ourselves a grand old time over here on Twitch. That's like more times than not where we're at. So come through and come be a part of that. All that being said, let's get into the gritty and the nitty. But before we do, as always, church announcements. Um, if you are watching this sometime before July 11th, and if you follow me on social media, you would know that I am part of the Rolling Stones contest for the America's Next Top Hitmaker. So, with that being said, um, go forth. You're in the Discord. The link will also be in the description box. But like, you know what I mean? Anywhere that you can find that link, to vote daily. Um, Vote daily, and also if you want to share it amongst your friends and get them to vote as well, do that as well. Um, yeah. It's not what it's about, but yes, there is the winner gets a $10,000 cash prize. I believe they get a feature spot on the Washington Jig. I believe they get like a little segment in the magazine and some other cool little stuff that they have going. But I'm honestly just humbled and honored to have been selected to be a part of the opportunity. Um, so let's make the most of it, yeah. Make the most of it. All that being said, also we do have some more singles that are coming out in July, so be on the lookout for those wherever it is that you stream your music. Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, uh, your auntie phone, wherever it is that you get it. Um, Wherever it is that you get your music, be on the lookout for the music that we have coming. Uh, I say that every week. I say this every week, and I know a lot of y'all on the YouTube side are probably like, "Yeah, we'll just come back when he starts to have some dates for that because you get tired of him saying music and shows are coming soon." Well, they are. So, you know what I mean? Be on the lookout. You're a person that likes to be prepared for stuff and likes to plan stuff out. Uh, you know what I mean? So, keep tabs on that. Like when that will be announced. And then if you're a person who can just pop up to come see me at a show because you don't have real responsibilities yet, um, well, then, good for you. You can pop up. You can pop up and pop out. Um, that was a little shady and that may come off as like condescending or whatever. Uh, but if it winds up being true, then I don't feel as bad as maybe you think I should. Uh, and that's just that on that. Also, some of you in the community know, well, y'all don't know, but while y'all have been sleeping, I have been quietly in the background working on another album to commemorate my 11 to celebrate my 11 years of making music. Um, I'm still not gonna tell y'all when it drops, but if y'all were in some of the other streams, y'all know you don't know the date, but y'all know the month already. But for those of y'all that just watch this and then watch the stuff on YouTube on Saturdays, uh, y'all don't really, y'all aren't really in tune or tapped in. So the title of the album is going to be called The Book of Bambi, and yeah, that's all you get for now. So do with that information what you will. Uh, and yeah, yeah. All right, we're gonna try and speed run through this sports stuff because I don't really have, uh, not because I don't have a lot to say on this end for things, but I more so want to talk about more so want to talk about, to me, the more important stuff that we have coming down the docket. So, with that being said, um, Paul George, for those of y'all who haven't seen this on Twitter yet or don't watch sports or don't know who that is, a basketball player who's been spent the last couple of seasons here in California, playing for the Los Angeles Clippers. Um, he has decided to take his next business ventures back to the East Coast. And he'll be playing in Philly next season. Um, Signed a super big deal with the 76ers. Um, big thoughts on, just initial thoughts on that is he's taking care of him. Like, you know what I mean? He's taking care of himself. Um, he's doing what he feels is right for him, and I'm not upset at that. Um, he's at that point of where as far as sports are concerned, he's on the older side. Um, as far as professional athletics are concerned, so his window of opportunity for a championship is closing. So, all intents and purposes, I understand that. I understand where he's coming from with that. Um, I don't think that makes him any less of a California guy. I mean, you know what I mean? He did grow up in Palmdale. Um, you know what I mean? He grew up in Palmdale, California. He played basketball uh, at the local college here in the valley. Um, he You know what I mean? He's to the point in his career where he's worked really hard and he's earned everything that he's gotten. Uh, yeah, he's earned everything that he's gotten up to this point. So, it's just this is a decision. This is a decision for him. He wants to. He wants the best opportunity to get himself a championship, and he thinks that you know apparently he feels like he's the missing piece to what Philly needs um, to get them that championship that they've been kind of in pursuit of for a while now. So yeah, that's really just my thought process on that. I'm not like a diehard Clippers fan, so like I'm not upset. Yeah, I just more so see that as that's an opportunity for him, for him to do something to help out his legacy. Um, and I mean, you know what I mean? He probably looked at the situation with the Clippers and kind of just knew what was what. And if we can be quite honest and quite fair, y'all knew what was what with that. If you had, for all of my sports watchers, are in the community. Like, y'all know, we've seen what's what with the Los Angeles. We've seen what's what with the Clippers um, for a while now, and I feel like we've seen the best version of the Clippers in the NBA bubble. Um, and yeah, there's no going back to that. Um, yeah, and yeah, there's just no going back to that. So all that being said, um, he probably looked around at that situation and realized um, he was getting older. Kawhi's getting older. Um, Traded for James Harden early last year. Um, which all in all, I don't think it was a bad move. I still think it was a little bit weird, but I don't think it was a bad move. Um, I just think it just made it's only one basketball, so like you know what I mean. So like all of them dudes, you know what I mean. All of them dudes can't all handle the rock at the same time and get their buckets like they need to. If, you know what I mean? Like you know what I mean. James Harden got to bring up the ball and facilitate when Russ is in the game. He's got to bring up the ball. He's a real ball dominant guy. Kawhi Leonard don't need his touches when he's healthy. Um, so yeah, and it's just I think overall like there isn't a lot of promising young talent on that Clippers roster. So like you know what I mean. So like there's that. Um, so yeah, I understand. I get it. I get it. So yeah, I get it. Um, Honestly, the more shocking turn of events is I don't know if it's officially official just yet, but Klay Thompson has decided to leave the Golden State Warriors, and reports are saying that he's deciding to team up with Luka and Kyrie in Dallas. Uh, if that deal winds up becoming an official thing, I think that'll be really really good for the Dallas Mavericks. Uh, Considering, yeah, you know what I mean. All things considered, they you know what I mean. They did have a finals. Excuse me. All things considered, they did just have a finals appearance. Um, I feel like they did just. I feel like they did just need just like one more um, one more like high level performing guy. Uh, And like you know what I mean, like let's just be honest and let's keep a stack, like, let's just keep it a whole hundred step. Like yeah, let's just keep it a whole hundred step. Kyrie's not gonna really like move the needle defensively, and Luca can't do everything himself. So I think that's really really good. Um, that if slash when this ever becomes official, that you know what I mean, you get a guy like Klay Thompson in there, he can stretch the floor, shoot the three, got a very excellent clip. Um, get the job done on the defensive end. Uh, yeah, yeah, I think that's it's a very very excellent and important. You know what I mean? If slash when this deal winds up working out and it gets finalized, I think that would be a cool acquisition for Dallas. Um, yeah, yeah, that's all I got on that. As far as on the Warrior side of things, um, y'all knew it was gonna come to this point at some point. You couldn't you there was no possible way you really thought you was gonna be able to keep all three of those individuals paid and happy for the entirety of their careers. Um, and if you did think that's kind of foolish of you to think so. Um, let's just be honest. A lot of that, a lot of, and I'm not a Warriors hater whatsoever. But let's just be honest. Like a lot of a good, lot, a very good amount of that Golden State run, uh, depending on who you ask, lasted a little bit longer than it, according to some people, like maybe should have. Um, then uh, you got to think. Klay Thompson and Dre, like you know what I mean. Klay Thompson and Draymond Green took a pay cut when you bring in Kevin Durant for the years that you brought him in. Uh, so yeah, like, you know what I mean. Like, y'all got your championships out of you know what I mean. Y'all got y'all championships out of that core. Um, you know what I mean. The Magic ran its course there. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Uh, some really good time. Uh, Again, it's also that thing where again, like I understand where like Clay is coming from with this decision to not return to Golden State. He wants to see if he can add an addition, if he can if he can add something to a team without just being known as one half of the Splash Bros. So I get it. I get it in his. I get it in his. I get it in that instance. Yeah, yeah. That's really all I have on that. But yeah, I don't know thoughts to that. But you know what I mean. So just best of luck. Best of luck to play. And you know what I mean. And made the best decision. You know what I mean. That you make the best decision that you feel like works for you. And if that does mean you wind up teaming up with Kai and Luca and Dallas, then dope. If you wind up somewhere else, also dope. Because one thing that we're not gonna sit here and act like uh, Clay Thompson isn't in certain eyes he might not be like a franchise changing guy depending on who you ask, but he's still a very talented and talented individual. Um, so he can add something to any team that he winds up on. Is basically what I'm saying. Moving on, where the Lakers decided to take Bronny James in the second round. Um, Lakers fans, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. Y'all can't act like these moves aren't becoming more and more obvious as the time kind of goes on. Again, chat. As of what last night, LeBron James still hasn't said anything about him deciding if he wants to come back to the Lakers or not. I'm thinking he most likely will, but if with the decisions that have been made aren't the most obvious decisions, like you know what I mean, aren't the most obvious moves to be like, okay, we're gonna do all of this to ensure that LeBron James comes back, then you Laker fans are more delusional than I thought. Because if that does, like, you know what I mean, like you make the guy that is a co-host, is the co-host of a podcast with, you know what I mean, is the co-host on a podcast with your star player, the head coach. Then you draft your star player's son. Like, I mean, be more obvious, I guess. I don't know, like how else to like really like say it other than that, because it's really just like for me, like at this point where it's just like gives you the power of AI to build the website you need. It's legit. It's legit that thing for me where it's just like. I don't know. I really just like said that all I wanted to say about that for real. Because if he wanted to give you a verbal commitment that he was going to sign, that he was going to come back, he would have done that. He would go, like, you know what I mean, give you an idea or an inkling. Like, you know what I mean? He would go give you an idea or an inkling that, you know what I mean, he was going to come back, and he's still not, and he still knowing what's wrong more than likely will. Um, I don't know, but we all know how he likes to do. He likes to drag stuff out. Um, Milk out as much attention from this as he possibly can. Um, so, you know what I mean? Like, we'll see how the rest of the offseason unfolds. Drags it out like his airline is insane. Um, but yeah, we know for those of us that have kind of lived through the LeBron era long enough, we know how he go about this. Make it a whole thing, leave us around to wait and wonder. And, yeah, but yeah, again, as far as like this whole like move on the Lakers' behalf, it's like yeah, like oh my god, this is literally like the basketball equivalent of like if a girl be of like a girl being like, oh, I like dudes that like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I like dudes that like have green eyes and wear the color purple a lot, and you know what I mean, and have low taper fades and da 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 da, you know, and have tattoos and low taper fades, and it's just like you just see a bunch of niggas that you know just start cutting their hair and getting random tattoos. Like that's what it's like. Like, I'm listening. I wasn't talking about me. For one, I'm not cutting my hair. And I mean, I do plan on getting more tattoos, but that's those decisions that I've been made for myself. But I'm just saying, it's just like it's the basketball front office equivalent of that. Like, oh, let's just completely. And again, it's a very much a very Laker thing to do. So I'm not like it's just like so many people I know like we're all like shocked and surprised. I wasn't. I wasn't. I kind of after stuff just started like rolling along. I kind of stuff kind of started like rolling along and kind of like unraveling with this draft. I was like, once basically the Atlanta Hawks have made it very much, made it very much a very like you know what I mean, a very like obvious and clear decision that they weren't gonna draft Bronny James. Um, I knew what time it was at that. Speaking of which, my thoughts on the 2024 draft as a whole. Um, no, we'll see over time. Like, you know what I mean? We'll see over time who winds up being a standout from this draft class. Um, if there are any, but we've had this conversation for like multiple of weeks already. I'm more excited for for the next like I don't want to say like but like I'm more excited for the next couple of like WNBA draft classes than I am the NBA draft classes because it's just a bunch of like you know what I mean like coming down the pipeline. We have what we have Carlos Boozer's kids. You know what I mean? The NBA prospects are like excited about, and a couple of other cats. But like mostly on the NBA side of things, it's a lot of like former pro players' sons that are coming down the pipeline, and couple of like interesting looking like European guys coming out. Um, that should be like super exciting to watch, but it's super exciting to see how their game translates to the NBA. But other than that, yeah, other than that, I'm more excited about the next couple of WNBA draft classes, especially with the fact that there are more teams now coming in the for the W as well. Um, so it's a lot more talented individuals that will get an opportunity to be on a team and, you know what I mean, and contribute their talents to chances of winning a championship. Um, but yeah, outside of that, it's crazy. Actually, you know what? No, it's not. It's not crazy to me at all. It's just like, yeah, it's just legit that like that's just what the NBA is kind of turning into or has turned into. It's turned into a super big cash grab, like a really big cash grab at this point. So it's cool. It's cool. It's whatever. All that being said, let's get into the more pressing matters. Yes? Well, not. Yes, more pressing. More important to me anyway. Um, so, for any of those in any capacity that are attached to any part of black entertainment, the biggest one, the biggest night in black entertainment, the biggest night in black entertainment, aka the BET Awards, happened this past weekend. You know what I mean? First of all, shout out to Usher for getting for receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award. I think it was honestly, I'm not even gonna hold you, Jack. The super duper dope thing about I enjoyed the Usher tribute a lot. Um, didn't appreciate the jokes that were being made about Tinashe's section of the performance. My whole thing is like it's a lot of you folks. If we rolled a microphone out and told you to sing in front of however many, like you know what I mean, however many faces were in attendance, plus the however many millions watched it live. Let's not say millions, however many thousands watched it on TV. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think that any of y'all would have fared any better. Um, and on top of that, like, you know what I mean? Like Tinashe is a top-notch performer. The S tier vocalist is just like that's really nerve-wracking when you're asked to be part of a tribute of that magnitude, especially with it being the fact that you are paying tribute to one of the biggest voices, you know what I mean, to one of the biggest and one of the greatest voices in R, like, you know what I mean, in R&B music history. So, I mean, in music history in general, but specifically on the R&B side of things, like this is a very very important um, voice. Yeah, this is a very important voice that we honored this past weekend, um, especially in our culture. You know what I mean? And by our, I mean black people. For those of you that are unfamiliar, YouTube, respectfully with love. But, you know, I'm talking to my peoples for a second. It's, yeah, Tiana Taylor and Victoria Monet did excellent. Thoroughly enjoyed it. My biggest takeaway from the entire night, my favorite thing, um, my favorite thing was seeing Lauren Hill and her son YG Marley um, perform together. I thought that was a really cool, like super duper dope moment. Um, yeah, thought that was a super duper dope moment, and I thoroughly enjoyed every bitty little crumbly crumb of that. What else? Also, um, all right, so it's two things we actually have to talk about for real, as a culture, you know. I'm seeing a lot of people like being upset at the fact that you know what I mean. A lot of people being upset at the fact that Donald Glover made a very honest, very true statement about it not being fair that he had about it not being fair that he has the same amount of BET awards as a Sam Smith and a Justin Bieber, mind you, two people who aren't black, but you know what I mean. But he has more Grammys than Will Smith. And then that's just all I've been seeing on my Twitter timeline regarding that statement. Where it's just like, oh, he was out of pocket for saying that. If I was him, I wouldn't have. No, why is that out of pocket? He's a black entertainer and feels like he should be acknowledged by his peers for the heights and the levels that he has reached as a black entertainer. And again, it's that thing where like BET, we really gotta have this conversation for real, for real. Why is it that we will quickly, and I'm talking about without hesitation, just because of the fact that they make music that can make us dance, vibe, bop, and move, but we will without beyond the shadow of a doubt, give BET awards to the likes of Justin Timberlake, a Justin Bieber, a Sam Smith, uh, insert any other talented white artist that you want to name. Um, it's crazy that we would do that at the drop of a dime. But our very own, myself included, feel like we have to jump through 672 million more hurdles before y'all decide that y'all want to acknowledge y'all. Like, I don't see anything wrong with that because, quite frankly, to me, it makes no sense that if we're just being honest, it doesn't make any sense to me that somebody who's like who's such a super duper like talented, multifaceted black individual like Donald Glover, there's no reason why he shouldn't have just as much, if not more, BET awards than he does Grammys. Instead, it's the inverse. He has more Grammys than he does BET awards. It's like he said it in a form where like it got a lot of people in the room to laugh at that point in time, but it's just that thing of where you know what I mean. As the night went on, I'm pretty sure a lot more people in the room were like, "Hey, yeah, why, why don't we just give like, Donald should have more than but he doesn't." So I get it. I stand with his statement. Um, I stand with his statement. I get the sentiment. I get the sentiment. You know what I mean? It's just it's 2024 BET. It's 2024, and our artists, our entertainers, um, you know what I mean? Our artists, our movie stars, you know what I mean? Our fashion designers, our producers, uh, all of the things. We shouldn't have to beg and plead, specifically from y'all, specifically. Because the whole theme of of BET weekend was about standing on culture, right? And helping push the culture even further. Cool. Let's start with the fact of the matter that we like. It feels like we have to beg and plead for y'all's approval. Or let's talk about the fact that it feels like we have to win like 67, 100 and a half Grammys for y'all to be like, hey, that boy over there pretty good. That boy pretty talented. Let's also talk about the fact that let's also talk about the fact that uh, there are several emails of mine that I've sent to y'all, BET, that you either haven't read or have decided not to acknowledge for whatever reason. Maybe it's because of the fact that you don't like that I have told y'all the truth about the fact. And I still think that my sentiment, I still stand on my statement and my sentiment. What the hell sense does it make that we are separating the BET. Like, why does the BET Hip Hop Awards and the BET Awards have to be a separate thing? For what? For what? Well, but that would just make the BET Awards longer. Okay. It's us celebrating the culture's biggest night, right? What the problem is? Or maybe BET is the fact that y'all have ignored a lot of emails because of the fact that I'm one of the ones who has said it multiple different times and who has said it the loudest, and my statement will not change about that, of where I've said stop. You guys are the Black Entertainment Television Network. Why are you giving the Black Entertainment Television Awards to non-black entertainers? Just like, what's the excuse for Justin Timberlake getting one? I'm sorry, he has two. Because he can sing really good. So, like, you know what I mean? You guys want to Sam Smith because he can sing really good. Fine. But they're still white males. But you know what I mean? I don't need to, like, I'm not, like, I'm just like really confused because there are, like, you know what I mean? There are, like, you know what I mean? A lot more, and in some instances, even more talented black artists that you could have given these awards to. Justin Bieber and Iggy Azalea both have two BET awards. And Iggy Azalea is all kinds of white and Australian on top of that. So, like, and it was gonna be like good for the both of them. Oh well, they were co-signed by, like, you know what I mean? They were co-signed by black artists. So what that mean? Case in point, I got the home. I got the. If that's the case, then I got the homie Corbin. He's a white dude that can rap really, really good. He's pretty cold. So y'all want to give him a BET award, or since basically at this point we're just giving them away? And again, it's that other thing of where, again, black folks, we also need to have a conversation regarding this. I've seen a lot of y'all on Black Twitter being like so upset at the fact that, like, you know what I mean? The fact that Tyler's been like, it's been like, I'm so honored to like, have accepted this award, even though I'm not black. Basically, I'm paraphrasing what she said, which lets me know that, you know what I mean. Which lets me know none of, like, y'all have just been dancing around, singing to, like, you know what I mean, singing, doing the water challenge, but you haven't really like listened to no interview from her when she's acknowledged that multiple different times that she doesn't like. She identifies as a South African woman who identifies black. It's so easy to get your windshield replaced using Safelite. Tell people I have done already. It started off as a chip. Now, again, in these instances, um, for a lot of you white artists, you guys, a lot of you white and or like non-black, non-black identifying artists, y'all do know that y'all can tell them folks no. Y'all do know that y'all can tell BET thank you, but no thank you. But I don't want to be mean. I don't want to come off as rude. Why? It's so easy for y'all to tell the Grammys? Hell no. As much as I can't stand her, Taylor Swift has told has told the people at the Super Bowl to go, like, you know what I mean, to go somewhere and shove it multiple different times. But yet and still, if Taylor Swift made a song that had the entire world in a chokehold, y'all would be trying to throw her. Y'all would be trying to throw her a BET award. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I'll have to go back and do my research. If I'm not mistaken, you Negroes offered her one, and she said no. Just, for me, it just comes down to this thing where it's just like, when does that end? I'm not, by no means, by no stretch of the imagination, am I saying we do to them, like, you know what I mean? We do to them like they did to us, and just like exclude them and make it like a black only. No, especially considering the fact of the matter is that like a lot of us have, like, you know what I mean? A lot of us that are like artists and entertainers and stuff, like we have a lot of Caucasian people that work on our teams. So ain't nobody saying like exclude them or nothing, but just like the BET Awards started as a thing, as an award show that was supposed to be celebrating us. And by us, I mean the black culture and the black experience. supposed to be us celebrating the black culture and the black experience, but Justin Timberlake has a BET award. Justin Bieber and Iggy Azalea have two of them. Sam Smith has one. I just, yeah, it very much so bothers me. Is all that I can say. It bothers me very much so. I don't like it, and I don't appreciate it. And I would just like for you to do better, BET. I would. That's just like, you know what I mean? I would just like for y'all to do better. Yeah, I would just like for y'all to do better. It does. It's a whole thing for me. Yeah. It, yeah. I'm, yeah. I didn't expect that to. I didn't expect that to make me feel some type of way like that, but it did. Maybe it's just simply because of the simple fact that I just care so much about us. And like, you know what I mean? Like, this culture is just so like near and dear to me, and I just feel like with stuff like that, like you get where I'm coming from, cool. Because that's just the biggest thing. I care so much about us. I care about wanting to see us advance. Um, I want to see our culture advance, expand, and grow. And I just really do feel like it's just misleading and disingenuous when you say something like when you say something right, like, and the biggest thing that they were all about for the BET Awards supposedly this year was about like celebrating and highlighting those of us that are like, you know what I mean, that are elevating and innovating within the culture. If that's the case, where was Tyler the Creator at? If we want to talk about people who are elevating and innovating, that's such the case, where was Willow at? I know if Normani wouldn't have got hurt, Normani would have been there. So like, you know what I mean. So prayers up to Normani. I hope that she's doing well. Uh, I do know that she was supposed to be a part of the Usher tribute before she sustained the injury that she sustained. Uh, so you know what I mean. Prayers up to you, loved one, and I hope that you're. I hope that. What am I trying to say? Wishing you a very, very speedy recovery. Is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say with that. So, you know what I mean? Best of luck to you, Miss Ma'am. And I hope that you are well. But like, you know what I mean? Again, I do love that you had a lot of ladies out there that were doing the thing. That like, you know what I mean? That you had a lot more black women that have been doing their thing this year, i.e. a Megan Thee Stallion, i.e. a Glorilla. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Regardless of what people have to say about it, like you know what I mean? There's somebody like Lotto out there uh, doing her whole thing. And shout out to the homie Bryce because I know he was in charge of being her set. So you know what I mean? Shout out to my homie BGR, aka Bryce Rayburn, um, a truly talented individual. Yeah, a truly talented individual, and he's doing the damn thing. So proud of him. Um, what else? Yeah, I just it's just not I don't know because I absolutely know, but it's just that thing of where it's just like it's kind of like just that time of where it's like I don't know because it's like that thing where it's just like I mean because you could have invited them to perform, like you could invite these people to perform, but even then that just like makes me like a little weird and iffy because it's just like because really what it's like is that whole thing for me where it's just like I don't know like that one person that invites their white friend to the cookout so like you know what I mean? To try to prove that they good. And they might genuinely be, but it's just that thing of where, yeah. I just know what this is like, what the black experience means to me. Um, and again, like I'm saying, like there's far too many super talented like black individuals um, that need to start being invited to stuff like the BET Awards to have an opportunity to showcase, you know what I mean, to showcase more of what they got going on and to introduce themselves to more of us. Um, thought it was super duper dope that all of it being on the outside stage. I thought it was super duper dope. E25 was happening. Thought it was super duper dope that you know what I mean. That Shabuzi got some love. Uh, got some love this year. I do believe that it should like, you know what I mean. It should only be like up for here, like up from here for him. Um, because everybody just knows him for that song where still, but the song where he samples the the Jaquan lyrics, of course. But he's actually a super talented country artist. There's also that thing of where it's just like, you know what I mean? You got guys like Breland, and there's so many other like super talented black country artists that are coming up in the space and that are stupid though. So it's like, why is that not being highlighted? You want to talk about it being culture's biggest night? Where's Tierra Whack at? You know what I mean? That really would have been a good look for somebody like myself. Like, you know what I mean? I would have meant a lot to somebody like myself who kind of sits in that realm of making abstract alternative hip hop. So that would have meant a lot. You know what I mean? Have somebody like a Tierra Whack, like, you know what I mean? A Tyler the Creator again. Y'all had four bets out there, which I thought was cool. I mean, he showed up, but like, I just for me, it's just more so that thing where it's just like it comes off as disingenuous because you're sitting here talking about it. Oh, it's the culture's biggest night, but like if you would have like led with, oh, it's BET's biggest night, then I would have been like, okay, like I wouldn't like be going as hard. You know what I mean? Because then it's just that thing of where it's just like, okay, so like now these are people that like BET just absolutely loves and adores. It's like, you know what I mean? Like my whole perspective on it would change. I wouldn't have like the attitude that I have. But you can't say something like, "Oh, the culture's biggest night," and then have individuals who all year long just do stuff like just make songs that all of us in the culture know, but outside of that, do nothing remotely even like important or relative or you know what I mean? Do nothing like inherently close to doing like anything for the culture. You know what I mean? Outside of just, you know what I mean? Oh, it's just this white kid, or, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's just this Caucasian individual who has a really good song that we all know. I'm holding on to that too long, but like I just expect better from us. Like, you know what I mean? I expect better from us, and if that's like, you know what I mean? I just expect a higher level of things from us. So, you know what I mean? Feel how you feel. You feel how you feel, say what you're going to say, all of that. And make no mistake about it, BET, if you call, I will still answer the phone. Don't get it twisted. But, you know what I mean? Niggas also got to keep it real with you because that's like the only way that we can grow and get better and become better. You know what I mean? Speaking of which, moving forward, um, I don't know why, but I just feel the need for us to like have this conversation for real. Um, and it's probably not going to be like a super long subject, but it's just the fact of the matter is that whether y'all are um, members of the cozy clubhouse or not, or you're just a person who is just a fan of a lot of the black creators in this space and things of that nature, or if you're like a young black individual that has a talent, um, but might be, yeah, you don't gotta leave this in the comments or nothing. But this is just for all of the young black kids out there that might be going through a bit of an identity crisis. Let me just say this as a big brother in this space, you know what I mean? A big brother in this culture of ours that has also gone through what you've gone through. Um, just because you're a black kid that likes the things that you like, you enjoy the things that you endure, it doesn't make you any less black. Oh wow, okay. Um, doesn't make you any less black. Stop letting them people who like run entertainment and media try to sit there and dictate to you who it is that you are as a young black individual. Stop letting them people who don't have a seat at this who don't have a seat at this cultural table dictate to you what your identity is as a young black individual. So whether you be a young black individual that likes classical music and likes going, uh, likes going to Renaissance fairs and all of those other things, like okay, cool, that's your vibe. Do that. If you are an individual, like many of the individuals in my community, like we have a lot of interesting characters and individuals in the cozy clubhouse. You know what I mean? Like we got folks that love anime, love watching sports, love playing video games, um, love super love music and everything in between. And again, what I will say to all of the younger black individuals coming up is imperative and necessary that you find you some genuinely solid black friends. Not saying that you can't have friends from other races, but there's just some stuff that you're gonna go through. Um, there's just some stuff that you're gonna go through that your non-black friends aren't gonna be able to relate to. All of us do. We all go through it. That's all I have to say about that. For real. All right, quick little story time, chat. So I was having a conversation with. I'm not going to mention this individual's name because I still love him like a brother. But at the point in time, this comment that was made really did rub me the wrong way. So we were having a conversation or whatever, and this particular individual was like, because of the complexion of my skin, thought he could make the comment of being like, I don't even know what the conversation was about. The conversation was about something unimportant. But then the comment was made that, oh well, you know what I mean? Oh, well, you're only half black, so like, you know what I mean? So that's like, so that makes more sense. And I was like, half? So he was like, yeah, aren't you? To which I looked around the room and I was like, nigga, who told you that? I was like, nigga, who told you that? My parents are just light skinned. Like, my parents are just light skinned. Neither one of my parents are half anything. I think it was like, this individual was like, nah, bro, I don't believe you. Somebody somewhere messed with a white person in your family. Trying to remain calm here. I didn't say anything then to this individual. And don't worry, chat. Me and this individual are going to have a conversation, an in-depth conversation. Because what I learned about this individual, who again I love like a brother, but what I learned about this individual that day is that uh, his experience with people like us has been very much limited. Uh, reason why I say that is because basically with the final remark, that let me know that he hasn't hung around enough black people to realize that we all come in different shades. You know what I mean? That there are some of us that are of the fairest of skin because of albinism or just, you know what I mean? Our complexion is super light. You know what I mean? To the most beautiful of brown skin, but that doesn't make any of us any less black. So to that individual, I do want to say that I love you dearly, but don't never again in your life tell me as a black man how black I am. Don't never again in your life tell me how black I am. You don't know my family's history. You don't know what it is. You know what I mean? You don't know what it is that I've had to go through and that I've had to go through and grow through. And especially for the simple fact that a lot of there was a lot of fights. A lot of fights that I had growing up because of the fact that kids was calling me a white boy. And so I made that comment about when Rick Ross was making that joke to Wheelchair Jimmy, and I was like, by no means am I like a defender of that man, but I just like that joke was kind of funny. Because you know what I mean, just because it triggered something in me that I really didn't bang with or enjoy all that well. Um, and I think that's exactly what the conversation between me and this individual. I think that's the thing that triggered as well, and that's why I didn't say anything to this individual after they made that comment. I just kind of like just went silent, and it probably made the conversation and interaction awkward. But I don't care because like, you don't do that to nobody, especially just considering the fact that you don't know my experience like that, gang. Like, you know what I mean? Like you literally just made an assumption based off of my complexion. Like, you know what I mean? Like you literally just made up a whole like ethnic background and assumption based off my complexion, and that ain't cool. And the reason why this is so important is because the individual that I'm talking about, they themselves are biracial. So I would think that with all that being said, that they would have been a little bit more understanding when it came to like a subject like that. But yeah, that just let me realize that I am this I am one of this individual's first like real like solid like black friends um, that they've ever had. Uh, so trust and believe, nigga. When you see this, I'm not mad at you. Uh, but what I am going to tell you is respectfully, with love, don't never do that again in your life. With me, I'm not gonna say I don't care who else you do that to, but I'm like really trying to help you not make that mistake again, like ever. But I'm reacting. I'm reacting about as calm as I possibly can about this situation because I really don't. I really don't play that when it comes to something like that. I very much am black. Grew up. I grew up in a Southern black household. Yeah, I don't know how many more different ways I can say it other than yeah. You just do yeah. I would thoroughly just appreciate it if individuals who would not do something like that. And by something like that, I mean it just automatically hand somebody an identity, like automatically just hand somebody an identity just based off of yeah. So all I can say to this particular individual that I'm speaking on is don't let the complexion confuse you or get shit twisted. I'm light skinned, but I'm as black as block parties on Juneteenth. So this is me telling you nicely. Right? If we have to have this conversation again, after the conversation that we're going to have regarding that situation, then when slash if I have to cuss you out about it, I don't need you being shocked or surprised. because it's that whole thing for me of where I walked up to somebody who was Moroccan or Arabic, I wouldn't be like, oh, well, you know what I mean? Oh, well, you're just like maybe they had like a couple of features that like made them look like half Hispanic or something. I wouldn't do the thing of where like, just be like, oh, well, you're Hispanic, like you know what I mean? Well, you're part Hispanic, so I would never do that because I don't never assume anything like that. Again, people are different. We're all different. But again, it's just one of those things for me where like that's a very much like a very much like a situation where like I've slapped niggas for saying worse. Worse? Less? Either way. It's a very important subject to me because now you're trying to speak to my identity. Uh, and and yeah, that's just something I don't play about that. I don't play about that at all. So, you know, do with that what you will. Or don't. And suffer the consequences, but I really hate to be you if you made that same mistake twice is all I'm gonna say. On a much lighter note, again, it's not a sponsored segment or nothing. But if you guys have not heard or have not gotten a chance to go and listen to it, Layla Hathaway has a new album out called Vanta Black. Yeah, so go and listen to that. Go and listen to that. For those of y'all that don't know, Layla Hathaway is the daughter of the late great Donny Hathaway, one of the greatest R&B voices of ever done. Really just vocalist, period. But specifically, um, yeah. So yeah, she has an album out called Vanta Black. It's amazing. I'm not gonna spoil it, but she does have a record on where she opens the record up with Rhapsody and Common for the intro, and she also has a record on there with Willow. that I love very, very much. Yeah, this is just another one of those albums that has definitely just been reaffirming for where I'm at personally. Um, it is another one of those things for me that just really does help me identify and resonate with all of the conversations that we had on today's pod. And so again, that's Advanta Black by Layla Hathaway, Vanta Black. Go and listen to that. I think it very, very much, it very much encapsulates what the 2024 Black experience feels like and sounds like to me. Uh, I love that for us. I love that for us. All of that being said, chat this week is 4th of July week. It is the 4th of July weekend. So Thursday I won't be here because I'll be spending time with family more than likely. Um, and don't let the facial expression fool you. I'm always excited to spend time with my family. But as I've alluded to before, I do have some closed-minded individuals in my family when it comes to certain stuff. So for me, I just hope that I'm just praying because of the fact that it's 4th of July weekend and I just want to have a good time with my family and not argue with them about stuff that is important to me. But if a joke or a comment is made, I can't promise that I won't crash out about it because that's just like that's just like it's just where I'm at with it now. With not just with it now, just with everything. Like, I'm tired of being nice about certain stuff, and it's really just that thing now where like with certain subjects, I've already spoken to these certain individuals of my family nicely about these subjects. So that now, like, you know what I mean? I'm that kind of individual chat of where it's just like I'm trying to nicely speak to you once about something, especially if it's something that I care about, and I feel like you're being disrespectful about a specific subject that like I might be passionate about. So I would You know what I mean? I'll speak to you nicely about it once, but if you go out your way to do it again, um, I interpret that as just a level of disrespect that, like, even if you are family, I can't forgive. You know what I mean? Family or not, that thing where it's just like you keep continue to make a joke or like say I approve this message. Yeah, yeah. I love my family to death, but like family or not, you're not gonna be disrespectful, uh, especially if it's about something I care about. Um, Case in point, like I said, when we had that conversation on the Pride Month episode. I said that I have members of my family that some that are outright homophobic and others that just like really don't. Others that you know what I mean may not have realized because of the fact that they have now gone back and seen that episode. Didn't realize that I had so many friends that are queer. And yeah, we've had to have those conversations of where it's just like one family member in particular was like, "Why didn't you tell me that you had so many queer friends?" Like I did, you just don't listen. Uh, like I actually did. You just don't listen when I speak. So that's another conversation for another time. Um, so yeah, bringing that up to say that there were some comments that were made regarding that. Uh, or after, no, like a couple weeks after that episode had dropped, we had some family over, and a family member made a comment that I didn't appreciate. Um, well, let me tell the story quickly. First, he made a joke, and I was like, "All right, that's your one." You know what I mean? Like that's your one that you get. That's your one that you get for the night. And he was like really didn't understand what I was talking about. No, I was like, okay, so remember, I have friends that are part of the community that you're making these jokes about, and I don't necessarily appreciate it because I wouldn't let nobody disrespect you like that. So just because my friends aren't, just because my friends that represent that community aren't here, I'm not gonna let you disrespect them in front of me, whether they're here or not. Like, I'm not gonna do that. And it's just like, oh, but I'm not trying to be offensive, but you are though. You were offensive as soon as you made the joke. They are part of the LGBTQ plus community, not the alphabet people, not the LMNOP like you know what I mean, not the WXYZ LMNOP, like nah, none of that. It ain't none of that. You hear me? Again and still again. If I wouldn't let nobody disrespect you, you're not finna disrespect them. Because I love them folks just as much as I love you. So we not finna, like, you know what I mean? So we ain't never finna do that. Luckily with y'all are all like super dope and great. So like I don't have to worry about having those conversations with the cozy clubhouse about that. But just so we're clear, we're not against any type of ism of any variety. Slanderous and homophobic remarks will not be tolerated in any capacity whatsoever. Well, I just don't agree with their lifestyle. Okay, is it affecting you? Is it stopping you from living your life? Well, no, but then why does it matter? Well, I don't agree with it. Cool. Cool. Nobody's asking you to agree with it. Nobody's asking you to like it. But the fact of the matter is that people kind of fail to realize that you don't have to agree with or like someone else's like lifestyle choices. That doesn't have nothing to do with you. Well, I just don't like it. Okay. So where do we go from here? I don't know. I just don't like it. Okay, so what happens now? You don't like it. What else? And what? Like you don't like it. So where do we go from here? Yeah, y'all already know how I feel about them kind of folks who be like, "Oh, we're gonna pray the gay away." Please go outside and get struck by lightning, hopefully, because you just sound dumb. Because it just listen, because it really is just like you really just like think that that's going like it's not a disease. Not a disease. Again, you do not have to agree with it, but the nerve of you to think that you're gonna tell somebody how to feel, how they feel on the inside. or what to do with their feelings that they have inside. Like that nerve of you. Because at the end of the day, last I checked, don't man one of us have a heaven or hell to put anybody in. Again, I hear some of you super Christians in the comments now. But the Bible says, but the Bible says, but the Bible. Okay, bet. If we want to do that, if we want to do that, bet. Before you do that, make sure you do some personal inventory and make sure that your life, the life that you are living, is exemplary of what's in that word, front to back. Since we want to do that. So that's just all. So that's just where I'm gonna go with that. Um, that's all. That's where I'm gonna leave that at. Cause yeah. But again, saying all that to say, regardless of all of that, I won't be here streaming on foot because you know what I mean. Because I will be engaging in family 4th of July activities. Uh, we will turn it around and be right back here on Friday, and then we'll wrap up the week with some more songwriting Saturday. And then we'll get back to our, prayerfully, we'll get back to our regularly scheduled slate of streams next week. If you made it all the way through this podcast, make sure you leave it. Made it all the way through this video, slap a like, subscribe if you're new, hit that notification bell so you do not miss anything else. If you're new here, you see the socials right there. They're in the description as well, but also follow me on the ticker. You see it. Mm-hmm. You see it. So yeah, come through, follow, be a part of that. Um, hit that Discord link in the description. Come be a part of the Cozy Clubhouse. Uh, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Just come through on some cool and chill, and don't be disrespectful, and don't be weird. Well, don't be the bad kind of weird, and you'll be fine. Maybe. Yeah, that's really it. I don't have too many rules. Don't be the bad weird, and don't piss me off. Then you'll be straight. All that being said, chat. I will be back on Friday. I will for sure be back on Friday. Yeah, I'll for sure be back on Friday, and we'll get into all of the shenanigans and things. Also, before I forget, let me just publicly congratulate all of the newest members of the Big Creator family. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the squad. Uh, yes, I know we have our quarterly meeting tomorrow. But let me just say this on behalf of everybody in the Cozy Clubhouse family. Welcome into your even bigger family, the Big Creator family. Uh, it's a lot of this chat. Class of 2024 looking kind of, you know, I'm not going to be comparative because that's not what it's about. But I'm just saying, Big Creator class of 2024 looking kind of like one of them classes. Uh, we'll see what quarter 4 looks like. But when it is all said and done, yeah, yeah. So yeah, again, congratulations to all of those who applied and made it. Um, and to those of y'all that are thinking about it, maybe in the fourth quarter, uh, best advice from your fellow Big Creator member: do it. Yeah, man, just do it, Gangy. The best decision that I've ever made. Um, yeah, the best decision that I ever made, and I can firmly, and truly, and firmly, and honestly say, if it wasn't for me stepping out on faith and making that decision, um, yeah, stepping out on faith and making that decision, um, I firmly believe that all of the opportunities that are now coming um, and that have came since being a Big Creator wouldn't have came if I wouldn't have stepped out on faith and made that decision. So there's that. Um, Again, the link to the America's Next Top Hitmaker uh, contest will also be in the description. Vote. You can vote once daily for free, or you could, you know what I mean, or you could send Rolling Stone a little bit of bread and spam up your multi votes. If you just feel like once ain't gonna be enough for you. Uh, all that being said, I love y'all. I'm gonna try my best not to miss y'all. Anytime in between time, take all of this love with y'all. Go out there and be great because good ain't good enough no more. Love y'all. I holla.